how do you get the extra damage in while still retaining that super blocking potential of evil gaze plus full block equals destroy 2 foundations and 2 ready
Uh,
ones? So right.
the right answer is use Evil Touch and destroy 2 foundations or make him lose 4 health, you know?
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple cards you can use to chain a little harder. It looks like Shigaraki's going to go first, so we'll
Yes.
see exactly what he's doing right now. Looks
I
like
don't
he's
know.
got.
I meant for Jiro. I'm not gonna lie. I think Jiro has this
I
base.
do right, like, but I know what Jiro does. Jiro's strong, and everybody knows it.
Hmm.
There's questions to be answered with Shigaraki. He's done well sometimes, but not so well some other times. I don't think he's been figured out yet as to if he's in the top tier or not. And I think this is a good chance to help figure that out.
Yeah, I definitely agree that Shigaraki lost a lot early because his bad matchup was Kirishima, and now that Kirishima's broken down a couple pegs, we got to see where Shigaraki's gonna fall in the new stuff because Shigaraki does great against decks that Kirishima beat easily, and just can't really fight against Kirishima. So
He's also a good sideboard, but Jiro's looking to start out with, got 4 right now. Just keeping the 4. They should have 3 cards in hand still, I think. If they remember to draw their extra one.
yeah, I don't remember if they do the extra one or not. Looks to be 2. Looks to be just 2 cards in hand.
Oh, we'll see. Here comes the first attack.
Is that a turn to dust right away?
No,
Ooh.
I don't think that's a turn to dust. Let me pull up my pictures to get it.
It's either that or decaying grip.
I think that's decaying grip.
Okay. Oh, I was thinking touch decay, not turn to dust. Uh, that's that's a camera problem.
I think it's actually corrosion lunge is what the first attack was.
This
That's the one that
one's
if it's blocked, your next one gets +2/+2. So since it was a pistol attack, we're gonna switch over to a
we're gonna, yeah,
new
swap cameras real fast.
set of cameras here.
There we are. Shigaraki, all of your pictures have hands over your face. I can't tell what they are.
So the 5s are turn to dust and corrosion lunge, but turn to
Yep.
dust is a high, whereas corrosion is a low.
Yep.
And then the ones that get confused really easy are the 2 4s, which are Decaying Grip and Touch of the Gray, which are both mids, and are both him on the left side with his hand reaching out,
With his hand reaching out.
and they're both 4 damage, and it just starts to get silly. Not a lot of people play Touch of Decay though, whereas Decaying Grip, so you naturally assume Decaying Grip because it's got that combo hands can't be blocked if greater than block modifier, and
Yep.
it's also great on defense. So you'll probably see Turn to Dust and Decaying Grip most often, sometimes Corrosion Lunge, very
Yep.
rarely Touch of Decay. But it honestly may be the way to extend your turn now that you can go a little longer, you can poke a little more. If you get a Fury out, you can Touch a Decay as long as you can check it by committing a Foundation every time
Yep.
until it's unblocked.
And turn to dust is the second card that gets dropped out. So we do have a turn to
Yeah.
dust right there. And yes, it does look to be it was corrosion lunge because it did have the next attack getting +2 speed, +2 damage. So you were correct in that.
Yeah. So this +2/+2 comes out on an already a 4/5, so 6/7. It stuns 2. And it you can lose 2 life to make somebody take 2 damage. So it's just a card that really beats people up. It's got a lot of options on it.
Yep. But if you look in the back there's not a lot of foundations that are left up for defense. So depending on what Jiro is able to draw into,
Yeah.
it's going to be
You
a lot of damage coming through.
I think there's one up. Shigaraki's probably hoping he has like a 1 cost, 0 cost foundation to play.
Mm.
Really, once you get to 3, Jiro does need to play a few attacks to really get there. So on 3 foundations, she's probably not swinging for the fences.
Yeah, for sure. And depending on which
Especially
symbol
if the
she's
first one
on.
gets full blocked and you destroy one of the ready foundations, it's just rough.
She is on air, so she could be going for the home run comet
Yeah.
kill.
So it looks like the
Because
first one.
I do see a
Yeah.
release there.
The first
So
one was full blocked, but this one was missed. So they're gonna take the 7 damage plus 5 extra
+5.
damage. I mean, it's just insane once you get that first big hit in, and then you go, okay, foundations, and I'm gonna wait.
Yep.
And it,
And
like if he has an evil gaze in hand, this is a really bad hand to swing into because he's gonna kill two of your foundations right off the bat.
very true. Gonna keep one momentum, ditching the other card, and staying to looks to be three active foundations. Yep, three active foundations for the next.
Yeah. Even if he doesn't have an evil gaze, just full blocking one thing and then having two more blocks available is good versus three foundations. Jiro can potentially get higher, but with a high speed, but evil gaze could stop that.
Yeah, looks to be Jiro's just drew a little bit of scurvy there. Builds two and calls it.
Yep.
Keeping a lot of blocks in hand. All right.
I think they realized what I did. If they what we did, if they attacked into that and were full blocked, oh boy, that was a bad turn.
Yeah. Nope. I definitely agree with you there.
So, once you get to five, you got a little bit of leeway. You can play around. But look at this float combo coming out. And I mean, like, just make this as fast as possible or as damaging as possible. There's no wrong option because it's going to do a damage.
Yep.
It's also
Float
not,
com
yeah, yep,
float
it's not,
combo and this deck is 6 damage.
yep.
Whenever it feels like it.
I think float combo in this deck is one of the only reasons to run that action that returns a card from your, discard a momentum or turn a card from your graveyard to your hand. Because you
Capture Doers?
no.
No? Oh
It's
yeah,
not,
Capture Doers is momentum.
yeah,
Go Beyond. Go
go beyond.
Beyond.
Yep, go beyond has rough stats overall. Doesn't have really good case to play it, except when it's 6 damage every turn by getting float combo back every turn.
Yep.
So it looks like there was the full block on this, but um, oh, we'll say it went down to 5, but they still did the 1 damage, which still went to 6. Now here's the question where a lot of people say, "Oh, I used my ability, I stopped at Shigaraki," or at least people new to him. But here's where you can go for the kill. If you've got to turn to dust here, this might be the end.
Agreed. Yeah. And
Nope, that's a
not turn to dust, but
yep. So that's is that touch decay or decaying grip?
I believe that one is touch of decay from the way
So
his head looks.
the block read it wrong.
Shigaraki's got too much stuff at
I think
the
it's decaying
same
grip. I
time.
don't think you're gonna see touch of decay much, so I think it's decaying grip. Oh no, maybe it is touch of decay. This is what I was saying earlier. You haven't seen it much, but I think it is the way to. But it's not gonna get the fury combo.
It will not get no.
We'll have to see. Man, if I could only tell. I think it is touch
But
of
it
decay
does.
because of the
Yeah,
block
it's
mod.
touch decay because it just did a stun. So
Yeah. I mean, the stun is real good in these decks when you can combo it. But 4 damage would not be enough. I would almost love to see a merciless rush just because you can give it the EX or something to
yeah.
really boost speed. Looks like this is Fury, so he's going to boost 2 speed anyways with Let's Fight Bad Guys. Let's Fight Bad Guys, an amazing card if you're running even half of a Fury package.
Mhm.
I mean, just +2 when you need it on an attack. So Jiro's going to have a hard time blocking this. Looks like probably 4, so 6 speed. Uh,
It's committing
commits out
everything.
for it, but
Yep.
does manage to block it. I mean, there's
Shigaraki's
another.
got an attack in hand. It's pretty much over.
If there's another attack that does at least 5 damage, is the other question because both of the 4 costs only do 4.
Correct.
So if it's he might not want to tap out. Just make sure he doesn't take 28 this turn because if he's got a float combo, it's over. If he's next turn. So if he lives one more turn, if he's got the enhance that gets the float combo back, if he's got, just enough attacks to finish it. So yeah, just live one more turn. But this is the problem with Shigaraki is he has trouble closing fast enough, so he does have to give them this extra turn to swing back a lot of the time. Now, with only 4 foundations, this is going to be rough.
Yeah. definitely not wrong on it being. Whew, it's gonna be.
The other problem is Jiro relies on long strings, and that's exactly what Shigaraki prevents. Shigaraki goes, "No, after you play your first one, I'm gonna cut out ready foundations." It looks like he's trashing a card to ready to make sure he lives through this turn. He knows he's got enough to play whatever he needs for attacking. He's probably holding on to a float combo or something that guarantees it, or just hoping to draw into something. But he's full in on defense this turn, sacking stuff to get what he can. All right, so it
Oh,
looks like
zero grav left. Okay. I was
yeah,
trying to see. I was like, what was that? I couldn't. Zero
yeah, it was
grav
just
left.
zero grab left.
I'm
Zero
moving.
grab left
I'm
into
moving
now
our watching
because
screen to the other
yeah,
side, so it'll be a
yeah,
little bit better for me.
because because it did damage, just instant explosive always goes in, and it's a great if you've got throws that you can throw out first. Man, instant explosive is good. Nobody wants to block it, but it does do damage. It gets itself out of your card pool. It gives you momentum that turn that you don't have to wait for. So you don't have to go, well, I'll use all my momentum stuff next turn. No, it helps you finish off pretty quickly. It doesn't stay in the card pool for stuff that, which is usually a benefit, but sometimes stuff that wants it in for like making you powerful greater is but then you can just decide to leave it. Nope, uses the ability, gets the free momentum. Um, looks like they are swinging for the fences here. I think that's unwavering that just came out.
I believe so. Yeah, that's some wavering. Yep.
You know, so hasn't really committed much of anything yet. So still pretty strong. This is both a weapon and a charge, so one of the optimal attacks for Jiro to play. She's only going to get stronger as these sets come out with more weapons and charges and weapon charges. But um,
Hatsune says hello.
so
A lot of maze package is gonna be real fun with Jiro.
mm,
But that's set two, not set one.
you know, I mean, build an asset, then go ahead and make, and then if it hits it on commit stuff, and then if you have assets ready stuff, it just extends your turn so far. In addition to being, yeah, slightly understated for a 5 cost, but it's in Jiro, so it's not understated. Looks like they're pretty much going to tap out to just block this one. Um, but I mean, there's still 21 life to chew through. That's a big ask. Second, unwavering. I don't see what's committed there. There's a little bit of glare in the way. Nope. Was knows that even if they make it, they're not going to be able to make another attack. So
Correct,
and
yeah.
Shigaraki's just
Time to call it on that one.
yeah. Yeah, there is something to be said to say, I'm not going to go to time. Let's just get to the next game. I
Yep.
mean, it's possible there were no more attacks coming, but Shigaraki just really needs one to finish that when you're tapped out.
Yep. Yeah, and as an old hat of like old RTS games, I'm always a fan of the slash GG. Like I know I'm done. Let's go to the next one.
Hmm.
I don't want to sit there and have you, dwell on how you're gonna get that last hit in. You're gonna get the last hit in if you draw anything, especially Shigaraki. Any little bit of a bad touch there, and it's over.
Yeah,
Let's just
and
go to the next one.
there's so many ways for him to do it.
Looks like both sides are gonna go ahead and side things in though. Looks to be Shigaraki sided three card or all five. Nope. Looks to be
Well,
sided in five. Okay. And Jiro, I believe, sided in 4. And we'll just go into their decks. So, what do you think the sideboards are going to be? Shigaraki's also flipped, so there's definitely a good chance we could get a character swap.
I mean,
But
Shigaraki is honestly, I have him more in my sideboards than as a main character because he's an answer to a lot of problems,
mhm,
right? Like he's so good versus Nomu, where he can deal damage and then tack extra damage to get around the 6 reduction. Um, for people who only let you hit once per turn, great. For people where you need to hold a lot of blocks, he only needs to hit once. So to me, he's most of my sideboard. I don't know what exactly you go into. I think you're on death in this one, and there's a lot of good death options out there. Um, the problem is the package that he's running is very Shigaraki.
yeah.
So, like, you'd have to change out a lot of the attack package, which is
And
doable, right? Like, you could run Ochaka 2 out of that.
yeah.
Um, you've got float combo, you've got turn to dust. There's half of what she runs anyways
Yeah.
in death. You just swap out for some gale force punches and, maybe even keep in the low 2/2 just to mess with people. But
But
the
keep it on
low,
Shigaraki though. No character change. So five new cards being added in.
yeah. Yeah, I
Uh,
didn't imagine either one changing. Jiro's kind of a Jiro deck, and this Shigaraki's very Shigaraki, so
yeah.
we'll see how it turns different though, because Jiro's going first this time, so she's not at the disadvantage of having to attack into a fully set up and already attacked Shigaraki. She can
Correct.
actually start with a lead, play out a pretty solid big hand, lose maybe one foundation into him, but
Yeah. And if there is a character that you want to play first at all times, it's usually Jiro. Jiro's
there's a
definitely a
lot. There's
character where
a lot.
you don't want to ever play second.
Mhm. I mean, you can say that about so many decks that want to do long strings, though.
True, but I think she also benefits because you want to get her enhance going on your deck as soon as possible. You want to start setting up the scrying ability and like seeing what's in your deck, and you want that to be set and ready to go as soon as you can.
Hmm.
And it's much more a benefit for you having that ability on your turn than it is on the opponent's turn. Especially with the webcam nerf rules where the opponent gets to see what they're getting anyway.
Yeah.
So because before the reverb happened, a lot of people just wouldn't use Jiro's ability because the revealing gave away too much information. So there was a
Although,
lot
I
of
mean,
times where you didn't use it.
against a lot of decks, it was more mental than anything because if you're going to play two more cards, you're going to check both of them. So, yeah, if you have a draw ability, now that's a mental game. But otherwise, if you did it early in the turn, the opponent's going to use both anyways. They have no control over that. Knowing what they are is just scary or not scary, but they have
Yeah.
no way to change it. It is what it is.
But it allows the Jiro player to do perfect math, which is
Yeah.
what Jiro's really, really good at for that.
Hmm.
Technically, that's illegal. Don't do that. I know the reason that he did the reveal like that, but you can't do that. It's in the rule book. It literally says you can't do that reveal trick anymore.
The
Uh,
specialist of sound?
so you can't leave the card on top of your deck, even though you know you're gonna check it immediately. Technically, you can't leave it. You can't leave it flipped up top.
Or correct. Yes. And here's 8 foundations. So now he feels very comfortable.
Yes.
I can lose one. That's fine.
And there you go. That's speaking of losing some foundations here, there's gonna be the option here. Stun in 2 of them, and then pick one to get blown up. Not a great check though.
Oh,
So
he can
already
just
down a
lose
couple
2 life. He
foundations.
doesn't have to blow anything up.
It's true.
But no, this is yeah.
And
It's a good card.
looks yep, -3 speed immediately off the specialized or specialist. My apologies, but
You know, it's a good one to block his first. Like you'd never want to let some people, a lot of people actually, you let their first attack through because they're building to something better. They're just trying to stun you out. With him, he can just stop if he gets the 5 damage in because hey, whatever. It turns to 10. He doesn't have to commit himself and extend out.
looks like the next 2 cards are still got to be another attack check as well. So eh,
Yeah, but he could easily throw a 1 cost foundation out,
exactly. Yeah.
a 2 cost even, and still make it. So The unfortunate reality of having to play via webcam is that your opponent gets to see this because there's no way for that not to happen because they have to
Exactly.
watch the screen and it appears on the screen.
Yep. No, I'm for one. Actually, I don't mind. I do not mind that nerf at all. When I started playing, my first character was Jiro.
Yeah.
So
See, this is the tough spot for Shigaraki. He can't just build and wait for you to attack into him because Jiro attacks so much harder in a turn than
ooh,
Shigaraki does.
there you go though. Playing out a evil gaze
Mhm.
and being like,
You
all right, yeah, you want to block this? That's fine.
you rarely see it on offense, but it does make it such a bear to block
Yup.
because now it's high speed, you've gotta commit more stuff but you can't let it through, you still have to just block it,
Yep.
especially when you're
It's
so committed.
yeah. It's Shigaraki's forte. It's a very much a both options suck deck.
Mhm.
That's what he
Yeah,
wants.
and there's a bad check coming up, so he can't just continue to attack, so,
Mhm.
whatever you gotta do, you lose a foundation, man, that stinks, but you'll have, 7 to swing back with.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think the right answer here is to lose the foundation.
I think he knows it, we know it.
And he does know it. Yep.
Yep, and it even flipped wall cling for it. Alright, so they're, thinking what they're gonna do. It is a tough position for Shigaraki, like we said. You can't you can't let them swing first and then just backswing them with Shigaraki
Correct.
that much. But you're just not gonna get through 8 foundations with your 4 when you check a 3 first. So they did order it, yep, so that oh, he got the 3 check out of the way with the evil gaze.
Oh,
'Cause it was a
yeah.
perfect
No, that
3
actually
check.
makes
That
more
was a
sense
good
too.
play.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he can continue
No, I
this,
completely forgot you have
get
to check a
going on.
card.
Yeah. The evil gaze was not only questionably good, it was really good because
Yeah,
it
it was
set up
actually the
the
best
trap.
call. Yeah.
It was yeah, like it was probably the best play, but now it's definitely the best play. Totally forgot about that. So
Yep.
that does allow him to extend into a definite hit this turn. Right? And the wall cling is out of the way.
Yep. Walkling's already out. It's yeah, and you're just gonna just take some damage here. There we go. We just see one being built, keeping a couple cards in hand, and
So salvaging
nothing.
a bad turn and like both players playing like we just mentioned that's exactly the position you have to put Shigaraki in. It's his worst position. And
Yep.
then clawing your way out of that to dig the damage you need. Yes, Jiro's gonna have a really good turn here, but now they only have 6 foundations. If you can somehow live this turn, you've done what you've needed to do. Now you're still gonna have a tough uphill battle finishing it, but
Agreed. But
yeah.
that you're at least getting things through there.
Mhm.
And dropping down a zero gravity lift out first again, just to have some
Yep.
throw confirming. Gonna go to the momentum. Probably gonna be another instant explosive release right after it.
Yep, just keeping the card pool clear, doing lots of damage.
It's air specialty, that's for sure.
And that's why you're seeing so many of them right now. It's just so good at the moment. All right. Looks like they're both heavy in thought in these matchups about exactly what to do. It is a tough position. It's almost not worth blocking here. Like, even if you could full block it and kill one of the ready foundations, he just got too much ready. It's only half damage. Looks like he is going to go for
Seems like
the.
it's gonna go for the half block though.
It's got to be a full block, right? I know that's half block. Okay, nope. Yeah.
But it's a
So
throw either way, so damage is still going down through. And then that we called it right there. Another instant explosive coming right out.
doesn't Shigaraki have to do a full block, or is it only partial? Am I misremembering that? I thought Shigaraki had to full block for it to him to commit himself.
Yeah, yeah. So that's a complete block for
Epic
Shigaraki's
complete block.
response.
Yeah, yeah. So you do complete block, but it only does half, but it still counts as complete for the yep. So
Yeah,
taking some damage, but popping that card into momentum. Uh, and it looks like it's going to give +2 to the next attack. Such a good little card if you can usually fit in a throw first. He's going for more of them. Oh boy. I mean, when your opponent's tapped out,
You might as well go. Yeah,
like
push the gas pedal down.
if he blocks one of these, it still goes to your momentum, and he's going to have no chance to block whatever's coming next because there's a progressive difficulty. So it looks like he's just going to set up for this big, powerful. If he's got it at the end of this, we'll see if he actually has the goods to back this up for the kill. But my gut tells me this is a kill turn.
I agree. I'm definitely feeling that as well, and I think the Shigaraki player can also sense that. There's definite blood in the water.
Oh no, that's a Jira card. It looks like kind of slightly off camera.
That one's specialized.
Specialized, yep.
Yep,
Still
specialized
hasn't
sound
fully
wave.
pointed it out yet though, but yeah. I was waiting for like home run comet.
I'm still waiting for Home Run Comet to show up. I feel like that's going to be the answer here. I think that's
What are we
Jiro's
saying?
kill
We're
card right
saying
there.
face down and another. Was that unwavering slash that they're getting, or is that specialized sound wave they're getting?
I believe that was specialized sound wave. I missed it. I'll double check when I get to see it
Maybe.
on the instant
Yeah.
replay stream.
Yep. But yeah, man. If they had
Thanks,
a home
instant
run
replay
comet
stream.
in there, that's kind of. Well, I mean, it's still blockable with a natural 5 and a 1 plus high block.
Okay, they pulled back the specialized sound wave. Yes.
Yep. So just doing more specialized, still checking to make sure that, oh, yep, check my 6.
Yep.
Uh,
It's like I knew this card was here.
yeah, they're gonna use up all their momentum on just continuing those, but they're so cheap. They're 3 cost, right?
Yep.
And they, you can make sure they pass, and you can get back what you need. They're just going for the jugular on these.
And I think Flash is. I don't know if I'm gonna say I'm gonna be controversial when I say this. 'Cause I think
Yep.
most people agree with me here.
And there's a
Flash is the
scoop.
best keyword.
There's a scoop.
Yep. And that's it. Going to game 3. I mean, this is still okay for Shigaraki. Shigaraki had the advantage and is going to get to go first. So
Yeah.
Shigaraki's got
Well,
to be feeling
as
pretty good.
much as we mentioned Shigaraki hates to play from somebody who builds 4, builds 5, um, that you can't do that if he goes first because he's gonna get to attack first. You can only, build what you build in 1 turn. So,
No sideboard? Nope. They're just going back right at it.
I mean, I think they saw game 2, nobody changed, so they know what they've got their deck optimally configured for whatever their opponent is playing. Unless they're not running 4 home run comets in there, and then they need to throw a few more in, but no, I think these are definitely the cores of some very solid decks. I still need to see a way for Shigarakis to push a little bit harder through that bad situation where they're slightly behind. Just the explosive closing power. And I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's building more and actually playing that what you call it, the 4 cost attack that can return itself if it's blocked. But there's always a line where the opponent can just say, "I'm okay with the amount of damage I'm taking, not block," and live through at least one more turn. All right. Well, looks like we're setting up for this final game. In this matchup, of course, we have plenty more content coming for you, but 27-28, close setup. Looks like he hated the first hand, but just an instant pick up and down. This one looks a little better. We'll see if he's going to keep it. Only 2 out on the Jira side. So Jira starts with a pretty decent hand and not going to the third. So at least okay for Shigaraki.
Yep. It is a hand that is respectable at best. I don't know. So, question for you, since I don't ever really see you too much on any of the streams here, how do you feel about the new mulligans? Are you still a fan of it being full and partial, or
It's complicated, but I suppose it kind of has to be in a game like this. because you're never going to get exactly equal. One card is such a big denomination. It means different things to different players. It is nice that the first player can't perfectly craft their hand and get just all foundations and go to
Mhm.
town. And then the second player does get an extra block, so they can kind of build out and still do it. So I'm much more of a fan than I was before. Is there room in during set two to maybe look at it and see if there's a tiny tweak that could be made? Probably. I still think playing first is slightly better, but I think this is definitely good enough for now and a huge step in the right direction and something that's close enough that we can reliably play very competitively with it and not have to worry about it being too unbalanced.
No, I feel 100% right there with it. When they announced that, I was kind of sad because I really enjoy being partials, but like if I like partials so much, I can just go second. You know, I have that choice.
Yeah. I mean, there are cases where you want to go second because you want to find certain things in certain ways. There are cases where you want to go first, where you just want to dig as much as possible, three mulligans to get one thing.
Yep.
Yep.
But looking like a normal setup turn here. A couple foundations on each side, 4 and 4, and then being able to go ahead and drop down another. I believe that one's corrosive again. Yeah, that one's corrosive. Learned from last time. So we're all set there, and for the most part, just kind of gonna go ahead and push through. Not too much going on there. Jiro's enhanced firing, putting the attack second. So at least we're gonna get another good normal check first. And of course, we have no idea what Jiro did. Now Jiro can keep her stuff secret.
Yep.
Um,
Which was a good change. It really, I understand why they did it the other way first to make it simpler for everybody. But now that everybody's used to webcam events,
yeah,
really should be as close to table as possible.
agreed.
All right, looks like we've got. Is that a right swing? Or man, I can't see the top of these cards
That
here.
is a right swing. Yep, that is 100% signature right swing right there. No question.
Yep. Although now we're getting a right hook coming in set two, so you got to be careful with your non-punching punches of the right variety. Looks like a block coming out on the other side. Gonna try and see what they can prevent any damage here. Oh no, this is the other one. Excuse me.
Yep. No, this
I am
is
all backwards. This is an attack coming in.
yeah. I was gonna say this one. Shigaraki's still there. Turn to dust going. A little bit of a stun.
Yeah. So this is an interesting way to run it, where you really want the second attack to hit. Like a lot of people want to run their stuns first. But the problem is if you're running this low setup, Shigaraki's not a 3 to 4 attack character most turns. So you want to just do short two combos. And this will guarantee the second one hits at the downside of you might not get both hitting, which you might have if you stun dude first, both might have hit.
Yeah, and corrosive being very nice there to be like, all right, well, my next stack's gonna get a plus, so
Yeah, it's the trade-off you're playing in the odds of do I want a little more damage, maybe, or maybe no damage, or do I want one big attack that's gonna hit but do less than if both did?
agreed. And it depends on the situation too. Like it's definitely a high skill cap decision there.
Mhm. I mean, it depends on what you're playing into, but yeah, it looks like we've got another situation where the Jiro is forced down to only three, and this looks like a very much a repeat of game one. I mean, when you just start and take the advantage of Shigaraki, and you can bully your opponent down into no foundations, not enough to block two attacks. Every turn, I'm hitting you for 10, and yes, I'm not going to burst you, but you're going to get into a turn where you go, I've got to try and kill you on three.
Yep. And leading things off with specialized, so making sure I don't think there's any no
No
momentum. It's
momentum.
only turn two.
So just a lead
But
off
still being
attack.
able to get a free card draw off it.
Yeah, a free card draw is nice, and also just you're not going to fail that check.
Mhm.
Mm. All right, a good block comes out, and it's a full block, so we're going to commit Shigaraki, and blow something up. And
And latent
man,
skill.
it's looking rougher and rougher for this Jiro player.
Shigaraki's such a bully. Just
I
very
mean, he
neat.
really right,
Oh,
like,
and a 2 check off that. Ooh.
I mean, you gotta commit something for it, right?
Yeah, you got. I mean, it's what you commit though. I think yeah, you commit your character. You cannot let your return end with 2 foundations.
No. He can bully you if you only have 2 foundations because he can go stun 2 all the attacks in my hand. But yeah,
Having release
he
in hand
it's
though.
very
Ooh.
much if you can get ahead at all, he can bully. He will not let up on you.
I'm seeing
Uh,
release on the other side with the Jiro player though, and I think that's a scary choice because you're
it
destroying your own foundations for a good
yeah,
effect. Don't get me wrong, but
yes. Um, like, you can make sure with that and wall cling that one attack's not gonna get through, but then you're low, for the next.
mhm.
Here comes the big reach out and turn to dust. Gonna start with the stun 2.
Yep.
As it's a common way to do it, really, and just say, "Yeah, fight me this turn on 2 foundations with no character ready." A wall cling to try and get the maybe an off zone block, maybe a 1 plus mid, because turn to dust is high, so it is hard to block correctly if you're not already on one of the Nomu or Shigaraki symbols where, or well, Nomu really, where 1 plus highs are easy to find.
Mineta loves his 1 plus high.
Yeah. Then you'd have to be playing Mineta cards, so.
Ooh, ouch.
um, yeah, so looks like they're gonna try and block with the gravity.
Yep.
But isn't that
Nope. Just need to commit the 1. They used uh they used a release to destroy one of them,
yeah, yeah.
but that
Yeah, no,
second
my
check's pretty
question was
hello
Journey
and
Gravity Lift was already a high block, so why was the wall cling flipped?
oh, that I'm not sure.
I don't know either. Maybe he was thinking about blocking it with a different one, who knows?
Might also be better just to destroy it now for the flip, because you know it's going to be an option to get destroyed later.
Yeah. Alright, so looks like we're down to foundations, no extra gas in this turn. Again, the deck is built with, actions and extra things, so it's not super attack heavy usually. Usually it does only to play those 2, maybe 3 a turn. So coming in from the other side, Jiro's got a turn to do 24 damage with 4 foundations.
Mhm.
Not impossible, but with what 3 or 4 cards in hand and 6 foundations up and your character, I wouldn't be a betting man.
I mean, you sure can bet. I don't think it's going to go
Um,
well for you, but you can sure take a bet.
right. So I mean, there have definitely been more moments of thinking this match than any other match so far. They're just thinking 3 steps of like, well, if I block this, I ought to take the damage and I do that. Well, if I stun here, then I ought to take the damage and I do that. Well, this is an advantage where it really pays to know your lines, to get the games to move quickly so you can finish them all.
And we're also getting higher in the matches, so
Yeah,
these guys they're fighting for their spots right now. That's what
yeah.
they're hoping for.
Well, I mean, there's also tournament fatigue, right? If you've played, 9
Mhm.
matches already, now you're on your 12th. Maybe if you've been going to 3 every time, it's a lot of games to play. Not everybody sits down and just plays 12 games over the course of a couple hours. I've got friends who are like, 4 games, okay, I'm good, let's play other stuff. It looks like instant explosives one way to do it. Clear the card pool, keep it small, build. And if you can get a lucky, I've exhausted their high blocks, and here's a big powerful. There's a chance. There's always a chance. Unfortunately, 2 5 checks there. Not what you want to see on the turn you're trying to
No.
kill. Mhm. Have we seen a home run comet yet come out of this Jiro deck? Is it just not in it?
Um, I think I saw one get checked.
Looks like we'll get the
Evil Gaze.
Evil Gaze coming out on this.
Hmm.
He's looking to full block for a good old double destroy.
Which again, this is the one that you want to block, even though it's a little bit faster. Like,
Well, here's the full block, and then well, it will get added to momentum. You might as well block the double amp. Kill the.
yep, getting rid of the release is the right call there. And then,
He gets to pick one of his ready, so he
yep.
picks the face down.
And what other? No, unwavering slash. All right.
Yeah. I don't know though. I might have picked one of the two far cards he's got there. Oh no, well
Amphibious.
those have cards left the pool, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so never mind. I was thinking that was the Denki card, but it was if you have momentum. But no, he's got no good ways to remove things from his pool on defense, only on offense. Now he could ready it now because something has left his pool, being the instant explosive. So that would be one reason I might have wanted to kill one of these. It's just these extend his turn right now.
Very much so. Yeah.
Whereas, yeah, release is good on block, but he's you can probably power through whatever he's got on block.
Um, I don't think there's a wrong call there. Like, yeah, getting rid of the amphibious would have been, definitely more advantageous over for this turn. But I
Mhm.
think getting rid of the release is just better overall. It lets you confirm
Yeah,
that
I
the
mean
game's
he needs
right now.
one any hit next turn kills him. So I think if you're playing to live through this turn is better than playing to make next turn's hit easier. But we'll see because he's got unwavering slash
Mhm.
down. So then, yep, he's out of gas. He's gonna play one foundation, end it with 6 life, and probably end it at all unless this is a full hand of gray coming up. Yep. This is where the consistency of the air decks really helps him out. Like he's at the mercy of maybe I draw a gray, whereas other ones have at least some, draw cycling stuff and momentum that if they draw one attack, they can make more. Where he draws one attack, maybe it's blocked. That's not a hand that says supreme confidence he can kill this turn.
Yeah, that's
That's a sign that like I have one attack. Should I do it? Maybe it'll get through.
I think you still got to go for it though. No reason not to.
Oh, it's float combo.
Oh, it's full combo.
What was
Hey!
this? If I saw float combo, I wouldn't look at my other 5 cards.
Yeah.
I'd be like, oh, it's float combo and 5 random cards I'm going to toss on the ground as I play this.
Float combo.
Bringing Shigaraki back.
Yep. And they're like, oh yeah, it's full combo. Okay.
Mhm.
It just makes the math so weird in